Welcome to the very first broadcast of the Anti-Federalist 87. And I'm your host, Tyler Randall, aka the Anti-Federalist himself. How's everybody doing? I hope you don't mind the background music. It's a little bit soothing, just so that I don't have to hear myself yelling too loud. Hopefully it doesn't get too loud and to turn it down a little bit, but that's okay. So the aim of this new broadcast is for me to be ranting and raving, because it turns out that's what I want to be doing anyway. I tried to be the essayist. I tried to be the calm, cool, collected guy where I wrote a beautiful essay the other day, posted it on Substack, posted the audio onto Spotify. Nobody gives a shit. You know what people care about? They want to hear me get upset about stupid shit. That's what it really is. And since I have a correct worldview and a logical brain, and I'm able to put these things together and see the truth for what it is, why not? Why not do it? So what really spurred this on is my wife was listening to the news this morning, and I rarely actually listen or watch the news at all. So boom, confetti. That's what you get. So I don't really watch the news, and this story came across. I've got 3 stories for you today. So what we're going to go through is one Fox News story. Yes, I know, Fox News. It is what it is, everybody. It's not what I watch. I don't literally listen to it. But my wife was listening to it this morning while she was getting ready. There's background noise and all that stuff. And this story comes across and is the most ridiculous story I've ever heard in my life. And then we also have a study from Oxford that was also in the news, but I won't take you straight to the study because I don't want to put words in the mouth of the study or, opinionize it, editorialize it. I just want to go straight to the study and get to the conclusions and get to the bottom of what it's about, and that has to do with gender-specific stuff as well. And then also something that's a little bit more upbeat, but not as upbeat as you might think. Okay, so it's actually it's going to trick you, right? You're going to think one thing, and you're going to think it's bad, but it turns out it's actually good. So it's uplifting, right? Stealing something out of Flecka's book. Uplifting gold, if you will. I'm just going to have a little bit of my coffee here. There's definitely not rum in that. All right, anyway. So what we're going to do now, I'm just going to share a screen. Blam. Is it on there? I believe it's on there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down to the bottom. Boom. Hakeem Jeffries, Democrat, right? Again claims banning trans athletes from girls' sports will unleash sexual predators on girls. Yeah, what a fucking moron. Okay, let's get into what he actually says. U.S. House of Representatives minority leader Hakeem Jeffries, Democrat from New York, repeated an unsubstantiated argument that defending Women and Girls Sports Act, which would keep men who have transitioned to girls from participating in those sports in high school, in college, to protect women's spaces, basically Title IX stuff, right? The act would have unleashed sexual predators on these girls. Now, what makes him think this? This is where it gets fucking ridiculous. He first made this argument the day the House voted on the bill on January 14th, joining other prominent Democrat representatives, including Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Democrat from New York. The argument prompted harsh backlash among some registered Democrat voters and was not repeated leading up to the Senate's vote on the bill on Monday. I wonder why. You know what he said? Let's not talk about. Talks about Newsom. That's the piece of shit right there. He basically says that the bill is going to require teachers, coaches, and what have you, other staff, to basically do a genitals check, when that's not what it says at all. As a matter of fact, in the bill, what it does say is that they'll just use the birth certificate. They'll just use their birth certificate, what they were born with. And that's what they're really trying to get at, isn't it? They're basically trying to get rid of women's rights, women's sports, so that they can come after the birth certificate. That's the A to B to C to Z, right? They want to be able to say, well, you shouldn't put it on the birth certificate. A doctor can't tell the gender of a baby. Fucking the absolute insanity. I was talking with a friend of mine today. If you are in any way pro trans stuff, immediately out of hand, you're stupid. We're not listening to you. We're not going to listen to anything you have to say ever, because you're an absolute moron. That's the way it has to be. Forgot to put the banner down here so you guys could read along. it's just, the bill didn't pass, by the way. They filibustered, even though they had 51 Republicans, the Democrats filibustered it out, right? Multiple Democratic senators spoke out why they did not vote for the bill, Fox News Digital previously reported, offering a variety of reasons. However, almost none of them reiterated the argument the bill would empower sexual predators to give genital examinations to young girls. Yeah, that's what it is. It's like these guys are projecting, like the sexual predators themselves, such as Hakeem Jeffries, who is most likely one, right? He's like, oh, they're just gonna want to look at the hoo-has. It's like, no. I don't know if you've. When do we get away from this fucking reality? When do we get away from just common fucking sense? I'm getting so amped up on this. So basically, Hakeem Jeffries, pedophile in disguise, can't stop himself from projecting onto Republicans what he wants to do. Now, I'm gonna leave it there. That's all you really need to know, because it just keeps going on. It's back and forth. He said, she said, he said, she said. Which he said, she said. What the fuck does that even mean? So obviously we can't tell the difference between he and she, right? This is just flabbergasting. Absolutely flabbergasting. So what we're going to do is, I'm going to bring up the next thing. Let's just move it along, because otherwise I'm going to lose my top. We're going to move on to examining gender-specific mental health risks from the Oxford Medicine. Just going to take a second to bring it up here. All right, now it's up. Boom. All right. The Journal of Sexual Medicine at Oxford Academic, right? The journal article is examining gender-specific mental health risks after gender-affirming surgery, a national database study. Here's all the doctors, published just recently on February 25th. All right. Abstract, transgender individuals face heightened psychological distress, including depression, anxiety, and suicidal ideation, partly due to stigma and lack of gender affirmation. Wow. How did you come to that conclusion? The stigma and the lack of gender affirmation is what's causing the anxiety, right? It has nothing to do with the fact that they came and said, I want to chop my dick off. That has nothing to do with it. Absolutely nothing. Their aim, to evaluate mental health outcomes in transgender individuals with gender dysphoria and who have undergone gender-affirming surgery, stratified by gender and time since surgery. In other words, they want to see if getting your dick chopped off is actually going to help your suicidal ideations, your anxiety, your depression, all that stuff. Spoiler alert, it doesn't. It only gets fucking worse. So these big brain scientists that have been taking all this money from like Thousand Currents, George Soros Open Societies Foundation, USAID, all these other Act Blue, all these NGOs and all these PACs that funnel all this money into harming our youth, into recruiting them into this cult, a subscription cult, right? They're recruiting subscribers for this medical mutilation, right? They can't reproduce, so what they do is they trick your kids on TikTok into thinking that they're trans, so that they can have to keep fucking adding in the spreaders for their fucking fake vagina, right? Oh, you got to get a new one. It's like $7,000 that Medicaid will pay for it. You know what I'm saying? That's what they want. Because those people tend to vote in a certain way. Free Palestine, am I right? Fucking morons. The problem is, they did this study, and what they didn't realize is, it accidentally blew up in their fucking face, right? The methods, let's just say that they were perfect, which they weren't. They excluded some stuff, and they tried to make it look as good as possible, right? Conclusion, right here, in fucking bright blue. You know what? I'm going to put it on the screen so that you guys can read it in the fucking banner. I left the other banner on. That's my fault. Sorry. I'm out of practice, you guys. I'm out of practice being the producer here. No, we don't want Hakeem Jeffries. We're closing that one. Okay. Gender-affirming surgeries, while beneficial in affirming gender identity, which is fake, it's beneficial in making you feel good about the fake thing that you did because you've already gone too far, is associated with increased risk of mental health issues, underscoring the need for ongoing gender-sensitive mental health support for transgender individuals post-surgery. In other words, findings suggest the necessity for gender-sensitive mental health support following transgender affirmation surgeries that addresses post-surgical psychological risks. What psychological risks could that be? Dude, everything elevates. Post-surgery, depression through the roof, anxiety through the roof, suicidal ideation through the roof, dysphoria itself continuing. Why? Because they gotta keep you on the fucking treadmill. You gotta be on the fucking the assembly line. Literally, it's a fucking assembly line. They're fucking chopping shit off and putting shit on. It's a fucking horror show, okay? And anybody that believes in this is de facto either a malicious liar or a fucking stupid person. You have to be. There is literally no in between. When I say literally, I mean literally. Because the parents who have done this to their kids, just psychologically themselves, could never go back. They can't. It's impossible. Because they would have to look inward and admit to themselves that they destroyed their child's life. They basically gave them a death sentence, or at least a 47% higher chance of a death sentence, because they wanted to virtue signal in their fucking mom group. And it's Munchausen syndrome by proxy. Trans kids is Munchausen syndrome by proxy. You ever remember, anybody ever seen that movie, The Sixth Sense, where the mom is poisoning the daughter with the soup so that all the people, oh, your daughter's so sick. Oh my God, we need to help you out. Let's bring food and boo-hoo, boo-hoo, boo-hoo in the book club. That's what they want. They want to feel good about themselves because they're materialists. They're satanic materialists themselves. They don't believe in Christ. They're 100% materialists. Oh, everything's about me and my pleasure. That's all trans shit is. It's just that fucking it's the dark shadow reflection of LGBTQ, where everything is about sex. 100% is about a genital pleasure. Is all that shit is about. Has nothing to do with feelings and emotions and just getting married. Look at that. Look what happened. It didn't even take a decade. We just want to get married and fuck your kids and chop their dicks off so that we can keep this fucking thing going, because all those people tend to vote in a certain way. That's what it all comes down to. That's what, when you realize that it's all about money and power and keeping power, and that there's not some dastardly villain behind a curtain like George Soros, who is a dastardly villain that's not even behind a curtain. He's out in the open, and is now his son Alex Soros is continuing the legacy. It makes you sad. You just start to go, is this what it is? Is this what it is? When I found out it was just greed, it was just avarice that kept the world going. Holy shit. Reject this fucking materialist bullshit and accept Christ. That's what I say. Oh, that's what I say to you. All right. We're going to stop sharing that one, and we're going to go to the next one, okay? We're going to go to something that's a little bit more uplifting, okay? And if you're reading the banner, then you already know. It just takes a second to produce this by myself, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm just one man. I'm just one man. Here we go. We're sharing it. We're sharing it. Okay, it's from the Daily Mail, you guys. From across the old pond there. Yeah? I don't know how to do a British accent, but that's basically what I got. Am I sharing it yet? There it goes. It ain't sharing. There it goes. Boop. Love is Blind viewers rage. Oh, I gotta kill all these ads, dude. Sorry. I'm not letting on. And then there's another ad. Just get the hell out of my way. All right. Love is Blind viewers rage at insufferable bride in brutal clip and say that the groom dodged a bullet as sexual identity and vaccines. Right? So basically, there's this lady. Let's see. It was like some Love is Blind is some TV show, I'm guessing. It's some reality show. Bullshit. Okay, here we go. Viewers of Love is Blind in the U.S. have been left furious after one contestant left her fiancé at the altar over his views on Black Lives Matter, sexual identity, and vaccines. Stars of Season 8, Ben Mazenga, hey, don't say that too fucking fast, you know what I'm saying? And Sarah Carlton made it to the final episode where the couples walk down the aisle and choose whether they wish to marry each other. In shocking clip, Sarah's a sudden change of heart and decides to marry Ben. This picture is not of that lady. That is not her. This is them right here. Okay, so she's rather good looking, okay? He's a 6 on a good day. She told him, I love you so much, but I always wanted him. She admits that she still loved Ben and believed everything about him was amazing. The families of the bride and the groom watched in astonishment as Ben told Sarah that he would like to continue the relationship. Yeah, no shit. Because she's being fucking retarded. Don't worry, the silver lining is coming. Sarah left the venue and spoke with her mother and sister in the car, where there was a camera, obviously, where she admitted that it was Ben's views which had given her cold feet. Black Lives Matter and his views on sexuality. Ben attended church every Sunday and grew up in a strong Christian household, Marie Claire reported. Ooh, Marie Claire, that fucking rag. So I watched the clip. Dude. Okay, see, she seems like she's a really good-looking girl. Problem is, she went to a fucking liberal school. She went to a college where they pushed all this fucking LGBT bullshit, self-love, me, BLM, free Palestine, am I right? People that vote in a certain way. People that vote in a certain way, right? You could see in her eyes, she's just like, oh my God. She's just like, I can't do it. I can't do it. He was... She admitted in the car there, she was like, I listened to one of his church things and it's so like problematic. Like she had one of those vocal fries that tells you everything you need to know about a woman. Speaking after leaving him at the altar, Sarah said, I remember I asked him about Black Lives Matter and I'm no expert, but when I asked him about it, he was like, I guess I've never really truly thought about it much. That affected me, especially in our own city. How could you not? How did it not make you think about something? I asked him too, his church, what his church views, and he said he didn't know. So I watched this sermon online about sexual identity. And it was traditional. It was traditional, you guys. It wasn't one of the weird ones where they want to fuck kids like what she's talking about. I told that to Benny, it didn't really have much to say about it, you know. I want someone to think about that stuff. Sometimes I wonder if it was just surface fun, carefree and love that we had. Equality, religion, the vaccine, right? You know? This guy right here, this guy's a fucking Chad. This dude right here, the silver lining is God threw that dude a Hail Mary at the last fucking second. I know it's some bullshit reality TV fucking marriage, right? But you know what? You should take it seriously. Marriage in the eyes of God is not something to be scoffed at. This man might have actually, it seems like he's just a dupe. He actually really did feel this for it. Right? He felt like he found a girl. Obviously, found a very pretty girl. Anywhere else, if she had been born in Tennessee, you know, and not lived up, and maybe if she just walked out have been retarded. But this man got protected by God. I watched the clip. It was amazing. He was kind of crying. He was sitting and then she rode off in the freaking comfort of her mother and her sister. Oh, it's okay, baby. You'll find the right person someday. No, you won't. No, she won't. Not if she wants to be happy. She's going to find some dude that's going to abuse her. She's going to find another, because they're all leftists, all the leftist guys, all the progressive dudes who are feminists. They always end up being abusers. It's a backdoor. It's the only way they can get laid, right? I'm not Andrew Tate. I'm not saying you have to be super masculine, because I'm not a super masculine guy, right? I was in drama. I was in theater. I love to sing. I like to do karaoke and all that stuff. But don't get me wrong. You do have to be manly. You do have to be a man. And these guys aren't. They're cucks. And they get in, they worm their way in, and it's always the cowards that'll stab you in the back. It's not the strong man that you should fear in front of you. That man will at least fight you face to face. Oh no, these cowards, they stab you right in the back. So, amen, Ben. Amen to you. I'm so fucking happy for you, bro. I'm glad you dodged that damn bullet, dude. Don't go crawling back to that whore. Don't you ever go crawling back to that whore. And that's gonna do it pretty much for this first episode. Down and dirty, quick and easy, right? Anti-Federalist 87, aka Tyler Randall, formerly of the Tavern Talk. And also Tonto Talks Fantasy. If you want to watch me and my friends do fantasy football this year, Talking Tonto Fantasy, I believe, is it on YouTube. I'll plug that. Who gives a shit? Nobody cares. But you know what, guys? I'm going to be doing this more on the reg, nice and easy, down and dirty. Talking about culture war stuff. You know what? Not always culture war stuff. Like I said, I like to be the essayist. I like to do like long, drawn, thought out stuff. I might bring you some of that too. It just, I might punch it up a little bit, make it a little bit more entertaining, a little bit more palatable, a little bit more digestible, right? So, excuse me for burping into a microphone. Let me take another drink of my coffee. That definitely does not have military special rum in it. So we're going to end it there, guys, and we're going to keep going. It sparked in me this morning when I was listening to the Fox News on the Sonos. My wife turns the Sonos on in the whole house, right? And she's getting ready. She's in the bathroom, and I'm making breakfast, and I'm just like, the fuck am I hearing? What kind of bullshit is this? Every once in a while, Fox News does hit a good one, you know what I'm saying? So, what can I say as an outro? Fight tyranny, fight collectivization, fight centralization, and fight these absolute these retards that think that they can get away with transing your kids. I'm the anti-federalist. I'll see you guys later. Peace out.